That's it, boys. Finally watched it. Finally watched Tremors Shrieker Island, the 7th installment of the Tremors franchise. And man, it was interesting. I love the Tremors franchise. We all know that they're crappy movies. I guess they fall into the low budget or B movies. But the 7th installment was very near and dear to my heart for a specific reason. Was it the best Tremors movie? No, not by far. But it really did have some heavy Jurassic Park Lost World vibes to it. See, I wasn't sure if we were going to see Burt Gummer ever again. And the scene sets in with these people hunting this graboid. We see an elderly looking Brad Pitt, and we think that he's going to be the star of the show. We find out later that geriatric Brad Pitt actually owns the island, and he bioengineered graboids so that they can be tougher to kill and thus more challenging to hunt. That's how he makes the rest of his money for fun, because he already likes hunting, but he also ups the ante for those who want to join in on the fun. This woman who's like a wildlife conservationalist, I'm not really sure what her title is, but we find out that she is actually the mother of Travis, who we found out was Burt's son. So yeah, this is Burt's baby mama. We don't know that at the beginning of the movie. Why is Travis not in this movie? Because he's in a Mexican jail. I'm guessing he couldn't make it for this movie, so they had to make up something. So they kind of replaced him with an offshoot of him by a guy that sounds and acts a lot like TJ Miller, but has the kind of smile that makes it look like he's giving birth to a horse through his mouth. But he's a really sweet character. The rich guy says no trespassing. And you know what? When someone says don't trespass on their land, respect their wishes, but they decide to go and see what he's up to just because. When they do, they find this big ass piece of flesh right under the soil that looks like it's had its guts turned inside out. How they don't know about graboids is beyond me. This is the first time that this kid is hearing about it, and Burt was such a sensation. Everybody knew about graboids. It was like a worldwide thing, so I don't really understand why the bulk of the people on this island who are from the States or other places where they have internet don't know what graboids are. Burt's ex-girl does though, and she says it can't be, but she doesn't exactly say what it means. What ensues is a bunch of clips stitched together from the first Jurassic Park movie. I don't know why the guy stopped. I guess he was trying to protect the others and play brave. He's not expecting a freaking skull-head raptor-like thing that's basically a mini T-Rex version of Predator to be popping from out of the plants. When he sees this thing show up, it does the raptor thing. Remember what Alan Grant said in Jurassic Park?
But no, not Velociraptor. You stare at him, and he just stares right back. And that's when the attack comes, not from the front, but from the side. From the other two raptors, you didn't even know were there.
One shrieker, because that's what these things are, distracts him in the front, and the other one just laces him from the side, which for me was very predictable. And while he's still alive, he sticks his hand out for discount TJ Miller to grab, and then we get a reenactment of the first Jurassic Park when that guy was getting eaten by the raptor. Let's take a look at the scenes back to back. So that was the first one. Do you see the similarities? Do you see how on the nose it is? Gotta give them props though. Let's take a look at the second scene.
Shoot her! Shoot her! Shoot her!
Funny that they took both of the scenes with Muldoon in it to stitch it together to make this scene. I mean, come on, it was so heavily inspired by that. It's not even funny. But hey, at least it's his own movie and not actually another Jurassic Park movie taking the exact same scenes from another Jurassic Park movie, if you know what I mean.
What the hell was that thing that killed Ishi, Jazz?
I don't know exactly.
I tried to help him. I tried to help him.
Boy, if you don't...
Burt's baby mama confronts elderly Brad Pitt and asks him what he's done. He's like, yeah, I did breed graboids for this specific reason. And she's like, why would you do such a thing? And he's like, ha ha ha, I'm rich. Then, of course, just like everybody always says when they have graboid problems, go get Burt. And he's like, really? Graboids? I was meant to do this. He doesn't even get paid any money. Just go grab him because he'll come and do it. He's the freaking Terminator or the pest control that we just take advantage of. And I was hoping some romance to happen between him and the other girl that's totally crushing on him. Big idol. It's almost like they're setting her up to be the next Burt Gummer. I also love the Archer girl's character. I thought she was gonna have like a way bigger role, but I find that a lot of the people that they have as faces in this movie are throughout the movie but say absolutely nothing. Like, I don't even get what that's about. We don't want to pay you too much, so just show your face but don't have any lines so we can cut your pay in half. Because the majority of the funding for this movie went to the slow motion shots and the fast moving jittery animation for the Shriekers. Also, the character Bill is just so freaking unbelievable. It's not even funny. It's like he's trying to mash and mish a bit of Matthew McConaughey with Brad Pitt. It just comes off being really freaking creepy.
That's catchy. I like it.
As convenient as it can be with this one-dimensional villain, we find out that he's actually crazy. Why would he be crazy? I don't know. They just had to write that in to make it easier to kill him off. Well, because he's crazy and egotistical and a nut job, he does not like Burt stepping on his shoes and making him look like a baby that he is. Then we discover that the Tremors have a queen that is essentially a freaking kaiju. And now the hunter guy is like, ooh, I want that. Most of the people that paid him money for the hunt have been killed off until he's the only one left. Brad Pitt is confronted by his archer and she's like, you know what? You're crazy. I'm gonna go. And then she goes to help Burt, who nursing home Brad Pitt tied up in the basement bunker with all his friends. He did this by tranquilizing Burt and I guess the rest of them. You can tell that he's not a horrible person because he doesn't want to kill these people. He's just freaking insane. Like from 0 to 60 insane. No character development, no nothing. There's no motivation. There was no moment when he clicked and said, you know what? I'm going insane now because reasons. You see, Burt Gummer has an excuse. This guy just shot out of nowhere. Like, hey, I'm a rich guy who has an island. I'm smart. I can do this. I'm batshit crazy now. Let's kill myself. The Archers now on their side, and guess how they're gonna defeat the Tremors? The Graboids and the Shriekers. Well, you know how they're gonna defeat the boss Graboid? Blow it up. If you guys haven't watched the recap review that I did on the Tremors franchise, you should definitely watch it. It's either in the card or the end screen cards because that is basically a very concise summary recap of what happened from the first movie to the sixth movie. And you'll see there's a trend here. It's not just that, it's a trend with all B movies I've noticed. Since the Shriekers can breed very fast, they have to take care of them, so they go back to the island where they're being bred, where you see a whole bunch of slow motion and flamethrower. I don't know what was going on with the slow motion. It's like that you could put like the AWOL Nation song Sail to this whole movie with how many slow motion shots they have here. It's freaking ridiculous. I do like that they added the newness. They always add something new with the Tremors franchise with every movie that comes out. And apparently the Shriekers, they live up to their name because their power is shrieking and making you freaking deaf. And that was so freaking easy to do because the flamethrower is just freaking OP. When they come back to the other island, everybody is on top of towers and stuff because, of course, the Queen Graboid is there. I feel like everyone's a little bit lax in this movie. And I don't know what's going on with Burt. He's still sharp, but they don't really play it up in this movie. It's like the younger people are like, Burt, watch out. Look out for this tripwire. Burt, remember, you gotta hide your heat signature. Burt, remember. I'm just like, well, okay, so why'd you call him in and everybody else is doing what he should be telling people like he's been doing in all the other movies? And I'm gonna tell you something. And you guys, I did give you a warning that there's massive spoilers here. But this is the last that we see of Burt Gummer. He's not coming back to do this anymore because, well... Yeah, the dude literally bit the dust as the dust monster bit him. He's gone. I was like, okay, I'm expecting this because I saw an interview that he did. And I'm just like, man, the way he's talking about it, it's like he's never going to do any more Tremors franchise again. And understandably, the guy's like 73 years old. He's not going to be running and jostling his junk around for all of eternity. It's not realistic. It's time for him to retire. But I don't like the way they sent him off. I felt like it would have been a much better send-off if he was more badass. I love the way that people appreciate him. That's cute. I love that the realistic thing is that most people would not not hear of him, especially like a younger generation, but he was a badass and he was still sharp in his mind. There was nothing wrong with him. He is an expert on survival. Yet, throughout this entire movie, he fails at shit. It's everybody else coming up with shit that Burt would already be 10 steps ahead of in that situation. Really? Why'd you do my man Burt like that? The canary bit was cute when the girl came up to him and is like, it's a graboid warning system. Oh, that's great, even though it's something that Burt would have figured out because he like basically invented that. But then the tripwire and like a whole bunch of like, what? And then why would Burt, like, he loves his guns. Why didn't he bring his gun? Like, I just don't understand what this movie was supposed to be doing in terms of Burt being in the movie. Did they bring him into the movie just to shave his balls off? Just to castrate him before having him die? And the last big hurrah that he gets is sticking his middle finger up as the thing eats him? Really? Speaking of that freaking kid killed Burt. Because had that kid not been there, Burt wouldn't have had to save his life. He killed Burt. And what made me so freaking mad, I am so sorry. I don't usually do that because that's so freaking, you know. What made me so mad is that the kid felt Burt push him out of the way. And he's like, Burt, I don't know, he was right next to me. Bitch, he pushed you out of the way. You will know that somebody pushed you out of the way because you're running and all of a sudden you're going sideways. You didn't jump out of the way. Burt pushed you. You didn't tell anybody else, by the way, he died a hero. He saved my life. What the fuck? I couldn't even cry at the end because I felt like this was an insult to Burt and an insult to the franchise, to be honest. Holy shit, it made me mad. Like, I love the movie because I love Tremors and it was an ass movie. It was a really ass movie. If I'm gonna be totally honest and taking it as a movie as a whole by itself, it's ass. But that's the Tremor franchise. That is what kind of category it falls into. So I understood that. Not to take it too seriously, but you're gonna send off Burt, you take his guns, you take everything about him that makes him him, and that's the send-off that we get. I just don't understand. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm overreacting, but I felt like that was a kick in the face to Burt's character. It's kind of like Godzilla. Like, if you're gonna kill off Godzilla, what you do is make him forget that he can atomic breath, like he has an atomic breath ability, make him not regenerate and get his leg chopped off. Just everything that would not happen to Godzilla or Godzilla would not do. Make him do all those things and make all the other monsters look better than him. And then as you're killing him, have him smile in the face of his killer. Like, it's just freaking weird to me, dude. By the way, didn't the monster swallow him with the glasses on? How did the glasses end up neatly folded somewhere else on the surface of the... You know what? It's okay. I'm trying so hard to be okay with this movie. But it was a send-off movie. I get what it was. I liked the concept of the Shriekers. I just don't like what they did with the end. It was... I don't even mind that they killed Burt, because I was expecting them to write off Burt at some point. They have to. He's old. But that's what you do. Like, okay. So, anyway, this little dipshit doesn't tell anyone that Burt saved his life. And it's just like, whoa, poor Burt. Okay, he's gone now. Let's do the outro with all of his takes from the first movies. Weak ass send-off if I ever did see one. Yo, the last day that I had with my dog before I put her to sleep when she was suffering was a better send-off than they did for Burt in this movie. Sorry. I know that was weird. I know you have a mix of feelings right now, so do I. Anyways, should you go see Tremors Shrieker Island? Hell yes, guys. It is the 7th installment in the Tremors movie. Just be aware of it. It will not feel like the other Tremors movies. It's just...
Fahrenheit. At noon, it'll be 100 plus.
Why is that good?
Because regular human body temperature is 98.6. If the environmental temperature exceeds that, then theoretically speaking, the Shrieker's heat
will
vision...
be less effective when it comes to warm-blooded mammals.
I don't know. It feels like Burt's drunk and this is the dream that he would come up with. It feels like that. Would I still watch Tremors even after Burt Gummer is gone? Yes, I would. I mean, there's closure and we were here for the monsters. I mean, honestly, Burt is what carried the franchise. Let's be serious. Burt carried the Tremors franchise since its inception. So they're gonna have to find a very, very good replacement that can fill his shoes. Now, the little girl, the girl that was like idolizing Burt and stuff, I would be okay with her being the replacement if we had a little bit more. I mean, she gave a little bit of an introduction, like, ooh, Burt approves of her, but there was no real danger. You see why we like Burt is because he was in the thick of things with the other main characters when the Tremors were a novelty or the Graboids were a novelty. This girl just comes along and she's like, Burt's a legend, but she's never in any real danger herself. So there's no way to relate to her. The only way we relate to that character and all the other characters is because they all think Burt is like so cool. He's like the coolest grandpa ever, like Rick from Rick and Morty, and that's basically all we relate to her. Would I watch a movie alone with her? No, I wouldn't. I want to see her be scared like Burt was scared. I want to see her face real danger, like up in the face like Burt did. Burt got swallowed by a graboid. Burt, he was in the inception of these whole freaking things. They even went back. They did a movie where they went back to his ancestry to kind of explain why he is the way he is with guns and survival. But I felt like they had an opportunity to do that, and the problem is they don't set up characters very well. So they use Burt, and if you were going to send him off in this dipshit way that you did, why didn't you build up another character? Seriously? Okay, Travis, I don't know what happened with him. I don't like him as a character, but I did like the dynamic that he and Burt had. That was kind of cute, and you could have kind of worked with that, but to be honest, his character is a little bit too weak to fill Burt's shoes. I don't know what they're gonna do from here on out. Maybe they should just close out the franchise now, or just reboot it or something, because, whew, I don't know how to feel, but it's over for now. What do you guys think? Did you see the movie? Should you go see the movie? Yes, I already said go see the movie. Don't take me saying this and be like, yeah, I guess I won't see it. No, go see it. If you love the other Tremors movies, you're gonna like this. I don't know if it'll be your best movie, but you have to see it on principle. Don't know why you're still here though if you haven't seen it and you knew we were spoilers. Now you just spoiled the ending. But I know that some of you said that you don't mind that. So I don't know how that happens because you know everything that's gonna happen now, but have at it. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.